Good morning, friends, and welcome back to Astrology Today. I am Melanie Rose, and I am here to share your daily aspects. Today is Saturday, February 12, 2022, and the sun is in Aquarius, as is Saturn. Aquarius's traditional ruler is Saturn. Saturn rules two signs, Capricorn and Aquarius, which are sort of back to back. Aquarius and the sun, Saturn and the sun being in the sign of Aquarius this time really give us this serious work ethic. They really have us focusing a lot on supporting ourselves, on making sure our foundations are firm. And the Aquarius eye is not just on the individual foundation, the homestead foundation, but the community foundation. So, if you're like me, you've been doing a lot of work lately. You've had a couple of months of this sort of nose to the grindstone. Let's get some shit done. And, nothing quite satisfies at a time like this like a job well done. So, go ahead and get into the details. Take your time and enjoy. We're not out of the work mode yet. And the sun is in Cancer today. The moon is in Cancer today. The moon is a waxing gibbous. And that is the phase during which we take action. So we've set some plans in motion previously to this. Maybe they were long-term plans that you set a long time ago, or maybe they were short-term plans that you just set with the new moon or sometime in the last few weeks. This is the phase of taking a look at your plans, refining them, and putting them into action, doing the footwork, knocking on the doors, or don't knock on people's doors. What am I trying to say? Making the phone calls, that kind of stuff. And so that we can have, when it comes up on Wednesday, a nice full moon in Leo, where we can celebrate what we have done, what we've accomplished, and just what we have created for ourselves. Moon in Cancer, is a very sort of at-home vibe. The moon is at home in Cancer. The moon is the planet that rules Cancer. And so those heart and home vibes, this is my body vibe, this is all about a time for focusing on yourself, your inner life. Be dedicated to yourself and the work that you're doing on your inner life too. Recognize and understand it, because this stuff isn't just happening on the outside, it's happening on the inside too. That's transformation. It's full and complete, right? Do take care. Don't forget to take care of your body while you're going through these transformative changes. Don't forget to take care of yourself and your immediate surroundings at home while you're going through these changes. Okay, I'm going to go over the planets really quickly, and then we'll get into these aspects. At the top of our list, we have the sun. The sun represents the outer life. This is who you are in your work, social, civic spaces. It's who you are when you step out the door, and the person that people first get to know when they meet you. That's your outer self. Following the sun, we have the moon. The moon has more to do with your inner life. It's like your relationship with yourself, your body, your mind, your spirit, those things that you feel, think, know, and intuit, and also who you are in relation to your home space, whoever's there with you as well. Mercury is on the page today. Mercury represents our personal intellect, especially that day-to-day thoughts, plans, communications, and running around that you do. Venus is on the page. Venus represents your personal relationship to those people and things that you like, love, and can't get enough of. So, we say love and money, but it's really how are you relating to the people you love. And then Mars is your personal sense of initiative, fire in your gut, that drive that moves you forward. Jupiter is on the page. Jupiter represents, in a broader sense, growth, positive expansion, good fortune, higher education, travel abroad, things like that, things that expand our experience. Saturn is all about the structures we rely on for support and validation and our responsibility to maintain those structures, if I haven't said 1,000 times already this month. Uranus comes around and asks us what we can do to change things up and do something a little bit differently. And Pluto is our planet for complete and total change, transformation, death, and rebirth. Okay, let's go ahead and get into the aspects. You can see that I've divided the page into 2 columns, one for each of our luminaries. The moon sheds light on our inner lives, and these very brief transits and aspects have more to do than anything with those things we feel, think, know, and intuit, the stuff that happens on the inside. And then the sun sheds light on our outer life, and I address the rest of the aspects, solar and the rest of the planets on the side, because they have more to do with our functioning in the outer world, and they take generally longer than those lunar aspects. And we start with the moon today, Central Standard Time, friends, at 1:34 p.m. This is all sort of right in the afternoon and evening. The moon makes a trine aspect with Jupiter. Now, I don't know what could be like a more positive aspect to be having in the heart and home as it relates to our bodies and our cells and our inner lives. Trine aspect is ideal functioning. It's very harmonic. It's very, you're likely to notice synchronicities or perhaps coincidences, but things are functioning very well in your heart and home with the planet for positive growth and expansion. So, we have been doing this inner work, right? We have been dedicated and focused on, sort of clearing out the brush of our own hearts and minds so that we can make advancements. And this is a great time to sort of appreciate and celebrate what you've come to already, appreciate and celebrate the way you are expanding, the way your heart and your life are expanding. It's a great time to conspire with loved ones at home for positive growth. Talk to them, open up to them. Everybody's going to feel very open and friendly at that time. And then at 3:49 p.m., the moon makes a sextile aspect with Uranus. So moon in aspect with Uranus makes us feel the call to change things up. And this is really like in the body, heart, and home. So changes in the heart and home right now are blessed with good functioning. Sextile is a positive vibration that generates things. Something is good, it's dynamic, something will come out of the actions that you make under this aspect. But there's really, at this time, not much you have to do. You've probably already implemented a lot of changes. You're already probably, changing things up a little bit every day to see what else works for you. I'm just saying that, you're really blessed with good functioning for that at this point. At 10:21 p.m., the moon makes an opposition with Mars. And then at 11:45 p.m., the moon makes an opposition with Venus. And I just want to say this before we get into their interpretation of those separate aspects. You notice that Mars and Venus have come closer together, okay? The moon is making the same aspect with both of these planets, just, about an hour and a half apart here. So that tells us that they are very close to each other in the sky, right? Then the moon's not going to make the same aspect with you unless you're sort of in the same zone. And coming up on, I believe it's Wednesday of next week, Venus is going conjunct with Mars, and that's going to happen. That's going to be something that we're dealing with for several weeks. So just be aware that this conjunct is coming up, all right? Possibly we're already starting to feel the sort of push and pull of receptivity versus initiative and, desire for attention and affection, also in an amplified state with this desire to start things, to protect and to move forward. Okay, so Mars in opposition, the moon in opposition to Mars, and the guidance that I received when I was reflecting on this, moon and Mars comes in, it gives us impatience, it makes us restless sometimes, especially in an opposition, which is an opportunity it's a conflict, okay? it's a conflict vibration, but it's also an opportunity to look for the balance. Don't ever look at these sort of challenge or conflict aspects as being particularly negative. Think of them as giving you an opportunity to make a motion, right? To move, to do something, to change something, to find the balance. So don't let impatience and irritability get in the way of your fresh start right now. Like, we're making all these really positive fresh starts. We've been hard at work on ourselves and probably, our relationship to the human collective. And right now, for a couple of hours this evening, we might feel a little impatient and irritable about some things that are happening. And, it's important to know that that is a 2-hour aspect, and it will not last forever, especially if you don't make something out of it that has to last longer than that 2-hour aspect. Okay, and then the moon in opposition to Venus. Moon in aspect with Venus makes us feel really open and receptive to attention and affection, but in this opposition, it's very intensified in a sort of polarizing way. So sort of we feel more wanting of the attention and affection, and we're almost willing to do anything to get that attention and affection. So in circumstances like this, I just say, if the person you're used to getting love and affection from, or the pet that you're used to getting love and affection from, is not there or is not available to give you what you need at this time, take the self-love challenge. Okay, just point it back at yourself. Maintain high standards for the quality of attention that you seek, because under this aspect, there's a possibility that we could lower our standards and again, walk away from this having to deal with it for longer than just a couple of hours. Okay, that's the moon side of the page. On sun side of the page, in the ongoing column, we have this. This is the last day, friends, that we're going to talk about this Mercury conjunct Pluto. Aren't you happy about that? I sure am. We have been having these tough conversations with ourselves, okay? And we have been looking deeply at the way that we communicate and really the way we come to our relationships. This has been Saturn square Uranus. This has been Venus retrograde. This has been Mercury retrograde. This has been Mercury, Venus, and Mars all in Capricorn with Pluto. Okay, so there's a lot of work that we're doing surrounding who we are as individual people, and how we are changing, how we are transforming, along with the rest of the structures that we lean on for support and validation. Okay, so remain adaptable in the face of challenges, with some guidance that I got on reflection with this, and understand that it's the end of a cycle. So are you ready for your fresh start, right? Have you done as much of the work as you can? Are you in a place where you're satisfied that you can move forward on a new track, or on the same track, but with a new sense of where you're going, right? So Mercury conjunct Pluto, goodbye, old friend. We will see you in a couple of years. We sure appreciate the transformation that you've brought about for us, and we hope to be able to, think, plan, and communicate in a transformed way from here forward. So, what is it? Is it Monday or Tuesday? On Monday, Mercury goes into Aquarius, and so Mercury will, Pluto's going to stay in Capricorn. Mercury will be in Aquarius and keep moving on its merry way. And then we have a full moon on Wednesday. That'll be a full moon in Leo, something to celebrate. And Leo brings a really warm, loving, literally sunny vibration to our full moon. So I hope that we have a little bit of slightly warmer weather so that we can really celebrate under that new moon what we have achieved, what we have gained, all of the transformation and change that we have gone through. Also next week, On Wednesday, the same day as the full moon, is when Venus and Mars go conjunct. So this energy is building up right now. We're going to start dealing all the time with themes surrounding Mars and Venus, okay, our sense of initiative and our sense of receptivity. So, put yourself in that mindset. Both planets are in Capricorn, so it's still going to be like, all right, we're working on our sense of initiative and working on our sense of receptivity as well. This is just sort of a preview, this little opposition here. Also, next week on Thursday, Jupiter is going to make a sextile with Uranus. I can't wait to talk with you about that for, I think, 2 or 3 weeks probably. And then Sun is going to make ingress into Pisces on Friday. So Aquarius is on the way out. We're in our week in review. Thinking about the overview, the bird's eye view of our structures that we rely on for support and how we can move, reorganize, revise, replace the parts that aren't holding up so well. It's something we've been doing a lot over the last several years with Pluto in Capricorn, with that Saturn vibration, with transformation. So it's no wonder that we're going through a lot of personal transformation right now, considering that we've gone through so much social transformation as well. Okay, so that is the aspects portion of my episode. If you have made it this far, please give me a like, a thumbs up, push the notification bell, subscribe to my channel, and if you know anybody that you think this would resonate with, please share it with them. Sometimes it just helps to, for me, it's very centering to look at this and to get a little bit of guidance for the day. And sometimes it just helps to tune in and go, oh, right, I'm not crazy. That has been happening, right? So I'm going to talk for a minute about the tarot card that's on the side here, and then I'm going to go ahead and pull a tarot card for today. The tarot card that's on the side here represents the last 10 days of the sun's transit through Aquarius, and we are in the last 10 days. We are, in fact, in the last 7 days. So the vibration of this card is kind of a sneaky one. It's got a note of theft to it or deception. And, I've learned some tough lessons lately about deceiving myself about people and things, like not asking the right questions, maybe not really wanting to know the answers to some questions, and so sort of forgetting to ask them. And then, what the problem with that is, then you have a certain idea or expectation that you don't know that you're maintaining about a person, and then I get disappointed because they're not who I thought they were. They're not what I thought they were, and it's really me. I'm the one who deceived myself by not asking the questions directly and being really forthright about what I need. So that's what I get from that one today. Give it some thought. If we all deceive ourselves from time to time, and it's like the worst possible kind of deception, because I should be able to at least trust myself, not to lie to myself. But sometimes because you want to see something one way, you're not, you're kind of bent to do it no matter what. Okay, and as for today's card, I'm just going to sit here and remind myself while I shuffle these cards that the Sun is in Aquarius for a few days yet. Saturn is in Aquarius until 2026. Very worker mode. You see Saturn, I went ahead and put it in here all over the page. Not quite so intensely as it has been in the last several weeks, but definitely still influencing us very much in our personal life with transformative energies. So that really speaks largely to me today. We've got a couple of really positive inner life, self sort of aspects today. A lot of really good functioning for any initiative you want to take, conspiring you want to do, changes you wish to make. And then in the evening, you know, a little bit more challenging sort of aspects coming through with this Mars and Venus coming toward their conjunction. And yeah, that's going to probably be a lot of what we talk about coming forward for the next several weeks. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn a card. The Hanged One. Okay, have we talked about the Hanged One recently? I think that we have. This person, you know, I think that they probably didn't get up there by themselves. Perhaps somebody put them up there. Perhaps somebody got tired of dealing with their crapola for a minute and asked them to get and take a moment off, take a minute off and gain some perspective. Or maybe, you know, they just got themselves stuck in a predicament where, you know, they have to take some time to think about how they're going to move forward, right? So the Hanged One really brings about that sense of a pause, you know, a pause in action, a pause in forward motion. It says, you know, make sure you get the big picture, you know, and you give yourself a little bit of time. What else do I see here? Really, that this is a very relaxed pose. This person doesn't appear to be struggling. They seem to know what their predicament is. They know what's holding them back, what's caused them to have to make this pause. And probably when the pause is over, they'll be ready to move forward again. All right, so that is our aspects for today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you have any questions or comments, if this brings up anything for you, I'd love to hear all about it. Go ahead and put it in the comments section below. My name is Melanie Rose, and I will see you all back here tomorrow for more Astrology Today.